All right, we are live. Episode 5 of the Untitled College Football Podcast. I got Jeffrey with me, Matt with me, Jacob with me. How we doing, guys?
Doing
Good.
good.
Any thoughts
Trevor
about the
Lawrence just threw an awful interception on this Monday night game, so
Good.
not thrilled.
Not happy? You have him in fantasy?
No, I just was I had the Jaguars and something else kind of thing, but yeah, not fantasy implications much with Trevor Lawrence.
Does anyone have any fantasy guys tonight?
Oh,
I got Travis Hunter and
Yeah, apparently Travis Hunter
Mahomes.
is starting
yeah.
fantasy
One
games
league.
here.
all
For
right.
Juve in a 14-man one flex league. He's Juice, wide receiver 1.
Two.
Okay, excuse me, 2.
I think I got Kyron Williams as McMillan as my wide receiver 1 in the league.
Ted. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not awful. Jacob, do you have anybody?
I'm in like 5 leagues, so I have a few guys. I think I have Mahomes in one league and Xavier Worthy in another.
Okay.
I do
It's the only
think,
ones I can think of.
before we do get started, I need to shout out Jacob, who was first to the story about a certain Fox college football contributor who insisted nobody from the greater Indianapolis area would ever.
Hold on, I had to jump in.
I knew he was going to join. I was waiting on it.
Can I this is Jacob. This is the equivalent of just somebody picking the 16 seed to beat the 1 and being like, I told you, this Mark Sanchez thing comes out. He gets stabbed, and everybody's like, pray for Mark Sanchez. This is horrible. No other details have come out. And Jacob's just like, nah, he started a fight. It wouldn't happen in Indianapolis. He's like, no, that kind of stuff just doesn't happen in Indianapolis. No, this was definitely on Sanchez. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And somehow, just nails it with no business nailing it. This is just took a shot in the dark and just everybody who made fun of him for hours till the details started coming out just comes out with egg all over their face. Just hat tip to Jacob.
Yep,
It's
very well done. So
I
incredible
saw the-
investigative journalism prediction. I don't know what you call it on your part, but yes, please explain your sourcing on the matter or
the
identifying what happened immediately.
on the Colts subreddit, there was Mark Sanchez stabbed, and they said their source was the Indy PD, and then a journalist that's well respected in Indy posted that Mark Sanchez may be the perpetrator. Before there wasn't solid details. When I just kind of figured when I first heard it, I was like, this sounds off. This sounds completely off. It'd be one thing if he was in a biker bar or something, or some rundown shack.
Biker bar.
Yeah, some crazy. Yeah, none of the details added up.
Dude, it's just the craziest thing ever because I'm in a lot of group chats with Jacob, and it's just every single group chat is him just being no, I don't pray for him. He started this. Everybody's just what? Dude, it's insane. He was just yeah, probably got in a bar fight. He was just saying all this stuff. Just had not had he was no, not Indy. Not my city. And he's right. He was right. He got it.
Yeah,
that's an
so
all-time
well done
Jacob
by
moment.
you. I feel like that had to be acknowledged immediately.
He stayed it.
impressive
He was
work.
the pass rush was coming, and he stayed in the pocket. He had 5 defenders swarming him. Stayed in the pocket, just nails the guy over the middle.
Yeah,
Crazy.
very
crazy.
well done there. Yeah.
Good job, Jacob. I think it's the happiest I've ever seen Jacob in my entire life. He has not stopped smiling since we started talking about this.
Yeah, Purdue beating Tennessee in the Elite Eight, I'm sure, was satisfying, but
Yeah.
Certainly up there.
Indianapolis, Indiana was on the hot seat for about 2 hours, and Jacob was like, that man, like, everybody's like where people are like, my city, like nobody rides for their city harder than Jacob in Indianapolis, Indiana. He was just like, nope, this could not be my city where this went down.
yeah,
Uh,
very well done.
I've been to Indy multiple times. Like, I just get the vibe, like down, like in the high class bars, which is where Mark Sanchez would be. I don't know how you start a fight there unless you're like on drugs or something. Which
I was just in Indy like 2 weeks ago. Like, I was surprised to hear it too. Like, but I was also like, I definitely didn't immediately think like, nope, Mark Sanchez must have started this. But I was surprised. Like I said, I was just in Indy. Like, didn't seem like the kind of place for that to happen. But
Indy doesn't have like a brawling culture. It's not like it was Ireland or Pittsburgh or Baltimore or something, you know.
be careful. Jake.
Ireland.
The entire country.
Yeah, the entire country.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, confirmed. Indianapolis is not Ireland.
Yeah. Skylar Thompson is safe. Avery Johnson is safe. Everyone's good there. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
What the fuck? Did y'all see that comment?
I
don't think I can put this up on the screen. But
Oh,
I enjoy it very much.
y'all read that?
Yeah.
Boy.
Jesus
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good one though.
I guess on that note, we can talk about the Penn State UCLA game. Who wants to start with that one?
I didn't see the game, but it's like, are we talking about the game itself, or are we just talking about like?
We're pretty much just
Like-
dunking on James Franklin, essentially.
So he's done. That's that experiment's over. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be out. They haven't won anything.
And also, I'm pulling up his tweet from this weekend. Hold up, or today.
Oh no. Yeah.
the streets are wondering, can James Franklin win the small one? That's the question now.
Yeah, so I was actually in State College in that area
Oh,
on
goodness.
Saturday when that was going on. And it was bad. I mean, people basically it was kind of a situation like people kind of compared it's like, oh, it's the biggest college upset of all time or in recent memory. And I don't think that's necessarily true because like I feel like one of those true like App State over Michigan or Stanford over USC have to be like just so like out of left field that no one sees it coming. Like I mean, there are many people who were just like, if he does this, and like everyone was watching closely just to see like how they would respond after getting beaten that Oregon game and just expecting them to be like, okay, like let's get back on track here. And but there was still in the back of their mind like, oh, this, wouldn't this be so Penn State and so James Franklin if they dropped that game? And they did. And it was not like a back and forth type of game. Like it was 27-7. And like UCLA, it is important to point out, has scored 57 points all season going into that game. They get 42 alone in that game. We were literally on this stream when New Mexico is beating the brakes off of UCLA and holding them to 10 points in the Rose Bowl. And yeah, they gave up. They scored 42. Nico looked like a cross of Cam Newton and Vince Young, and yeah, it was wild. I mean, and the fans are. I mean, it was kind of, there were a lot of Franklin defenders after the Oregon game because they're like, well, like Adam, like we had the lead in overtime, and that's a game we could have won, and I don't know how you can hate on the guy for winning 10 games a year, kind of thing, and now it's it's kind of one of those, like, what do you say now? And Franklin, knowing a lot of people inside the football community at Penn State, the relationship between Franklin and the AD seems pretty strong, and the current president, but that was going into the season, so I don't know where they are now, because they basically gave him everything to succeed this year. And there are people who are blaming the Andy Kolnicki, the offensive coordinator. He did wonders at Kansas, but now it kind of is like James Franklin has just fired and hired like 5 offensive coordinators in 7 years, kind of thing. Like, so, ultimately this rests with him. He took really not very much accountability following the game. Like, he was blaming that there was no juice in that game. There was no energy. They came out flat. It was like, okay, so this is your doing. Like, I could never see Nick Saban or Kirby Smart or Davis Swinney talking that way after a game about their team, but he kind of does. And to me, this is long overdue. Like, this is just kind of who Penn State has always been under James Franklin, and this coaching change has been long overdue. And now, like, even the harshest Franklin defenders are still like, well, now you got to win out, and they're not going to probably. So when they get held to like 8 points at Ohio State, it's going to be the same conversation. But yeah, I mean, I don't foresee us going very deep into UCLA football on this. So I guess the Franklin stuff is going to be the discussion. And like, what do you do now if you're Penn State? Like, you're not going to make the college football playoff. You are going to the Rely Quest Bowl. You just made, like, Jim Knowles the highest paid defensive coordinator in the country, for them to get completely worked on a weekly basis, it seems. And, you head coach is flimsy at best now. So for them, it's a long look in the mirror that they're going to have to take, because the roster is super expensive. And most of the donors that I know of are not particularly thrilled. So
to put it in perspective, this is a horrifically bad loss. Like, UCLA, they are probably the worst
team in the Power Four.
Yeah. They were the Purdue of last year. It'd be like if one of the playoff Big Ten teams last year lost to Purdue. They got throttled 66-0 by Indiana. Like, it's that bad. Like, UCLA is like pitiful.
I mean, you got to remember, like, they have an interim coach right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even have a defensive or offensive coordinator either.
Which, who is it? Rick Neuheisel's son?
Yeah,
I believe.
It's Jerry Neuheisel is
Jerry
the
Neuheisel.
offensive coordinator. He was named the offensive coordinator on Wednesday night before the game. So they literally had 2 days, if that, to, find something that worked for him. And I mean, it's wild. And he's got no play calling experience. He was just he was a backup there 10 years ago. And, I think they won like Cotton Bowl or something against A&M that he played in. So, yeah, he's come a long way from like Brett Hundley's backup to, now beating Penn State. But like, as cool as all this is for UCLA, like, yeah, the story is just how bad of a defeat that is for Penn State and what the implications of it are.
And
that's unacceptable. Like,
yeah. And to add more context to this, like, UCLA has not even, let alone won a game all year. They've never led all year. But this entire game, they led Penn State the entirety of all 4 quarters. There's not 1 second where Penn State led this entire game. This whole game. And on top of that, Katron Allen only had 8 carries, and on those 8 carries, he had 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. Why don't you go to him more? Like,
it's the question that the fans really are kind of demanding to know, because they both could have went to the draft last year. They both got huge NIL deals in order to stay. And I mean, they're the best 2 players on the team, and Singleton and Allen are not getting the ball. And then Singleton is just is not playing very well at all. He looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
And Katron, they're trying so hard to like get Drew Aller going, but like it's kind of a tough thing to get going. Like when you don't have like Drew Aller's not really a great passer, but he's not like a great runner either. So like you're kind of stuck in the middle of like, well, you're trying to make like you're not so great running quarterback. But like he was a leading rusher in the game. And I mean, he's kind of been their only rushing threat the last couple games now, and he's not a particularly like great runner, and he's not a great passer either. So it's just kind of a miserable spot they're in. And people are blaming they're like the system is not that good enough. Like, well, the system really simply should be just turn around and hand the ball to the running back, but yeah, they haven't gotten anything, no synergy, no like anything going offensively, and then the defense is just another story in itself. They had, one of their better linebackers was out for the game, so that didn't really help them. But yeah, just did not. They committed so many numbers into both the secondary and stopping the run that they put nobody on Nico. And Nico just ran like he's literally never run before in his life. Like that might be the best game he's ever played as a college player. So, yeah, I mean the buyout for James Franklin is $50 million. I think it's 53 to be exact.
What's the GoFundMe at?
Not enough. I mean, and so they're in a tough spot where now like it's basically Penn State Civil War. It's pretty heated and intense. Where they're kind of like the argument is that some of them are asking like, okay, like why haven't we fired him yet? The other half are like, who are we going to get that's going to be better than what we have now? Like, is this just kind of who we are? So there's a standard of fans that is kind of like where Georgia was when they hired Kirby Smart, where they're like, we're this close. We just need someone to like get us over the top. And the other half are just like, well, this is fine. Like, we're never going to compete with the Ohio States, the Michigans, those schools in the Big Ten.
And you got to be careful.
Yeah,
you got to be careful. Like making, and I agree. It's probably time for James Franklin to go. But like the situation being described is like, and like obviously Georgia's like the example of like the guy who can't break through. Mark Richt, like you get rid of him, you replace him, new guy breaks through. Well, you can take the opposite end of the scale is Auburn with Gus. Auburn's the opposite end of the scale of that exact situation. You get rid of the guy who's there but can't break through, and you get worse. So it's like it's not a guarantee that like the new guy can go in the other direction too. I just wanted to make sure I brought that up.
I mean,
that's like a big decision for Penn State, like the decision makers there, because if you do move off James Franklin, who can you hire that is an immediate upgrade? Like, no doubt, no brainer. Like, this guy's better than James Franklin. That's a short list, if any list, realistically.
The boosters, there is a heavy booster contingency who wants Matt Rule to get that job. He's born and raised, like, he's a Penn State kid. He played for Paterno. And he, won at Temple. He beat Penn State when he was the Temple coach. Kind of like revived Baylor and had the pretty rough stint in the NFL. But, Nebraska, I don't know if it's just like no head coach can be successful at Nebraska right now, but that would kind of be like one of the favorites for the job. That's kind of been something that they've had in the works for years, but it would kind of be like a Matt Rule, Matt Campbell, that kind of coach. I think that they would look for. It's Penn State does not usually hire coaches without they hired O'Brien without head coaching experience, but then before that they haven't had to hire a coach in 50 years. So with Franklin, if they're replacing him, they're probably going to want someone who's somewhat established on the job that is going to get them over the top. But I agree with you. I don't think it's that good of a job that it could attract like one of the best coaches in the sport right now. Like, if I don't know, like any top 5 that you might have on the top of your head, I don't think any of those guys are leaving for Penn State. Like, I don't foresee that being the case, but who knows? We'll see. It's a good job. And more than anything, the fans give you time because they've only had 3 head coaches that they've ever known. So I think that's one of the advantages of it. If James Franklin were in the SEC, he would have been gone long ago, because no fan base would have tolerated this outside of Kentucky. But yeah, so it's a tough spot. And
Well,
I don't know where they're going to go, but
to push back on what you're saying, I think Lane Kiffin's at Ole Miss is kind of in a similar situation.
that's
But it's
fair.
Ole Miss.
But I don't think they've not committed the resources to that team the same way that, like, what Penn State has with James Franklin.
I mean, they had one of the most expensive rosters in the SEC last year. Like,
They did. I think one for them, like, the expectations for the program are not as high at Ole Miss as they like. I like Ole Miss thinks that they've hit like a home run with Lane Kiffin to be their coach. I mean, he's turned down other jobs. It appears to stay at Ole Miss. It just seems like a good fit for him right now. I mean, and I don't know many Ole Miss fans who are just like, yeah, we need an upgrade at head coach. It might get to that point at some point. But Penn State, like, recruits at like a pretty high level for being where they are now. Like, for them to never have made one 14 playoff, and then for them to get the draw they had last year and then still, like, not really beat anyone of quality. It's a tough spot. I mean, and they got NFL players on the offense. I mean, Drew Allar's someone's probably going to use a first-round pick on Drew Aller, as crazy as it sounds. The running backs are both NFL capable. Tyler Warren is one of the best 5 tight ends in the NFL, and they had him, for a good 2 years there that they really, he was the offense, but, still just wasn't enough for them to break through.
Last year it's like the biggest issue on the team was like the lack of receiving depth.
They had no wide receiving talent.
And they let Keandre Lambert-Smith out the door to Auburn, and he was a 1,000-yard receiver with Peyton Thorne at quarterback.
Yeah. So that's the decision that Penn State has to make. Is this good enough for us right now? And if the answer is no, then who is going to be good enough? And yeah, that's going to be the biggest question they have to answer. But ultimately, I think it would take 8-4 for them to fire him. I think Indiana and Oregon both would have to beat them in order for him to be fired, which I do think is pretty likely.
Does he see the writing on the wall and leave and go somewhere else?
Well, again, I think that's extremely likely because he, every time USC was open, he was rumored for the USC job. He did do a good job at Vanderbilt. Now, granted, that was when, like, Florida and Georgia had nothing going. So, and that was still, like, when the SEC East was really only Tennessee and Florida and Georgia. So, yeah, I think it would take, I don't know what job he would go. Like, Arkansas, I don't think would hire James Franklin. If
USC
might, if Lincoln were drawn out of there.
Matt, question. Why wouldn't Arkansas hire Franklin? Would that not be the best coach they've had in years?
It sounds to me like Arkansas is in a spot where they have several coaches, at least 3 who I know of, where it's like Joey McGuire at Texas Tech, you have Gus, and Rhett Lashley, all of whom at least would probably, that we speculate, have a decent amount of interest in that Arkansas job and who, like, want to be there. So, like, they see Arkansas as, like, the destination job, which I think is something that they would want in that program. They don't want Arkansas to be like a stepping stone. To me, I don't believe that James Franklin would see Arkansas as, like, his destination job if that's where he ended up going. Like, I could be wrong about that, but I don't foresee like James Franklin, if he were to be fired and hired by Arkansas, I would be extremely surprised if he were winning games at Arkansas, that he would end up not being pulled out of there to go somewhere else.
So you take it more as Franklin wouldn't go there, not that Arkansas wouldn't try to hire him.
No, I'm sure Arkansas would want it, but I don't see a scenario where he would. I don't think the interest would be particularly mutual. Like,
I mean, Auburn reached out to him. Either when they hired Harsin or they hired Freeze, one of those two cycles, they reached out to
Harsin,
Franklin.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, James Franklin is like, he went to East Stroudsburg, which is a Division II college in Pennsylvania. Like, he seems to know the area, and he doesn't recruit it perhaps as well as he should. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he would obviously want to leave for anywhere, but it's just a situation where the relationship feels as if it's kind of gotten a bit stale at this point, and yeah, again, like, James Franklin is a CEO coach, but he's not he does not particularly involve himself in the offensive game planning, and he does not involve himself in the defensive game planning either. So it's very different from that like modern coach who is heavily involved, like Kirby Smart's heavily involved in the Georgia defensive game plan, like Kalen DeBoer is heavily involved in the Alabama offense. Kiffin is very involved in the Ole Miss offense. Like, it is rare that there's really not in the Power Four, like the best teams in the country. Not often are those coaches like really flourishing or thriving, particularly. But who knows? I mean, we'll see. It just kind of seems like the fit has kind of gone sour, and I just don't see James Franklin as that kind of coach. He's not going to elevate any side of the ball. Like, that's not his thing. Like, he's going to recruit, and he recruits well, but and he just is kind of set up in these big games. Like, he's probably not going to win any of them anytime soon. So if that fits for the program that you want, then fine. But I mean, he's been pretty rough with the coordinators. Like, Joe Moorhead was a great offensive coordinator for Penn State. He went to take the Mississippi State job. He's at Akron now. But aside from that, they haven't really hit home runs on that side of the ball per se. And he's just that kind of coach in the NFL where, they are constantly going to need to be cycling through offensive coordinators every cycle or something, like what Dan Campbell is for Detroit. They're always going to lose assistants because the head coach is not as involved in that stuff as, some of these other guys are. So it's a tough spot. And I ultimately do not think Penn State will have the balls to go through with it this year unless they really, really flame out. But we'll see.
Yeah, and like you touched on, though, before we move on to another game from the past weekend, Penn State's remaining schedule is it's not an easy one, like you said. They have still a road trip to Iowa, which before you looked at and was okay, probably winnable. But with how Iowa always plays defense, that game's not winnable whatsoever.
They have struggled at Iowa for years.
Yeah.
It's always been a tough place to play for them.
Yeah, then you have.
Did you say that game's not winnable whatsoever, or did you misspeak? Or
I think I meant to say it is winnable if I did.
I thought you said that game is not winnable whatsoever.
Wow,
I was
we're
that's
already
a
out
take.
on Penn State not even having a shot.
I think, yeah, but I think Iowa, in that one, that's definitely more favorable for Iowa in that spot now with how Penn State has looked offensively and defensively against UCLA as well. Then the next week you have at Ohio State. That's probably an automatic L. Indiana comes to town. And then the rest of the year, you go to Michigan State, Nebraska comes to Penn State, and then you go to Rutgers. So it's if you lose two more games, you're 8-4. You're not making the playoff. You're not making the Big Ten title game. What do you do with James Franklin? Because
Nebraska's going there. Oh, with Rule. That'll be a fun weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, at that game, Matt Rule will be cheered. That place will go crazy for Matt Rule. Not that has any impact on the outcome of the game or anything, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, and this was a year that, again, Penn State scheduling under James Franklin is embarrassing. Like that, they played West Virginia non-conference, and then they had the home and home with Auburn when those were like two of the worst seasons in Auburn football history in this century. So, but it's annoying the fans. He refuses to play Pitt, which used to be a huge rivalry. He won't play Pitt. They won't schedule anyone in the non-con. So, yeah, it is a question where it's like, what do you do with them now? So they're gonna have to answer that. And but yeah, I would probably favor Indiana to beat them the way they played, and certainly Ohio State has, the best defense in the country right now. They're not gonna score on them when they go there. So yeah, 8-4, 9-3, but probably 8-4 is the most likely outcome given. And who knows? Like maybe they do lose at Iowa. Maybe they do lose when Nebraska plays them. Yeah, but we'll see. So, but it is definitely, I would say, the most interesting coaching storyline in the sport right now.
We got any more thoughts on that one before we move on to the next one?
No, that was quite the detailed breakdown by Matt.
very
I think he
Almost
covered it all.
almost 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Matt.
Yeah.
The next thing I wanted to touch on before we get into week 7 really is
I'm
Miami.
gonna slide out. I got to get something to eat, but
I'll see you, man.
I'll be listening.
But yeah, the next one, Miami at Florida State, 28-22. That score is much more like that's a false score. That one was like a lot like bigger of a blowout than the score indicates. Miami handled them and pretty much let them back in the game and took their foot off the gas essentially. Like with Miami's resume, I don't know how they're not ranked number 1 in the country. Like they look like the best team in my opinion. What do y'all think?
I agree. I got some
My-
take.
I think Miami is the best team on just tape alone so far this year.
Yeah, Matt.
I'm sorry. The ball is stuck to Trevor Lawrence's hand, apparently.
I saw you had to breathe there.
Right.
I was wondering if that was about my Miami.
No,
Jackson.
yeah. No, I mean, this is par for the course for Miami. They're the best team in the country. They really took it to Florida State, all 3 levels. It was, Mario overcame the clock management issues. They, it got a little interesting in the end of the game there. There are still some things that they did that were a bit questionable, but yeah, the scoreline is deceiving. That was not a 6-point game. They are comfortably better than Florida State, and they really dominated them up and down the field. And again, I think the most promising, hopeful thing that was going for Miami was Carson Beck. Like he looked really, really good. And some of those skill players are really good. The receivers are unbelievable. It's totally different than what he had to work with at Georgia. But yeah, this is the version of Carson Beck that was atop of people's draft boards 2 years ago, and he's played up to that level. So a lot of credit to him. He has not put the ball in harm's way. And yeah, it's just great balance between him and Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator there. And it's, the receivers are the real deal. So if you haven't watched them, they're like Miami can beat you every way. They should finish the season undefeated. They should be ranked number 1. They should be, the top overall seed in the college football playoff. I mean, just look at their schedule, what they've had to go through, and then look at what their schedule sets up for going forward. And they still, they don't have to play Georgia Tech, and they don't have to play Clemson. So, they're set up really nicely. So, yeah, I'm very high on Miami. They should be ranked number 1. They should be today probably the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. They are definitely the best, most well-balanced team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, but like on last week's pod, I put this a spot where like historically you would see Mario Cristobal maybe slip up and lose a game on the road. He probably shouldn't when he has a more talented team. And I picked Florida State to cover this game, but I had Miami winning. Like I know their game was a 6-point game and the spread was like 4, but it's still like if you were on Miami -4, you were like, all right, we're good. Like we're in cruise control. You never really were like, man, we really need them to pick it up here for them to cover this spread. Miami, like you said, Matt, just handled it in every aspect of the game, it seems like. Yeah. Jeffrey, Jacob, you got any thoughts?
Not really. I didn't watch much of this game. I think I went to sleep for a lot of the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the
early.
TCU Colorado game during this one.
Whew, man, can't take your eyes off that one, I would imagine. End-to-end action.
3 interceptions.
Yeah, goodness. Well, your Big 12 loyalty is unquestionably strong. I will say that.
It's evident.
Yeah.
But we got any more Week 6 games we want to go over before we did in Week 7? Or excuse me, Week 7.
Just a quick note: Virginia beat up the 2 upsets. I'd say.
There was no woodshed visit for Virginia.
Yeah,
the woodshed was closed.
Hand up.
Can I have one Week 6 note?
Yeah, go for it.
Not going to waste a second of anybody's time discussing North Carolina Clemson. But did you guys see where they had already booked like Ludacris to play the concert before this game, and then both teams were so bad it ended up being a noon kickoff. So Ludacris was playing a concert at like 8 a.m. I need to know what the energy at the 8 a.m. Ludacris concert was like.
Yeah.
I just had to get that in.
Yeah.
We talked about going to this one, Travis.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah,
I was so excited about Bill, and now I'm just pretending that it's not happening.
You think they'll turn it around like next year?
No. Bill will not be there next year. They're gonna pull the plug on this.
You're out on Bill already?
I think the plug is gonna be pulled on this.
Yeah, Chapel Bill is done.
Dang.
It's not looking promising, and I don't know how they're going to recruit with all this going on. So,
yeah,
everybody talked about the stuff with Jordan Hudson, and like it was like ha ha ha, like whatever, but like no, I think it's like a real problem. Like no, I think Bill is like I don't think Bill's like I think he's like 10% paying attention to football, and like the other like 90% is where whatever Jordan Hudson's dragging him into, and I think this is a stunt. Jesus, Trevor. Oh my gosh! Whoa!
Holy smokes!
Oh my goodness! No way they win the game.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Holy shit!
What a way to win a game!
There's a flag.
I think the Jordan Hudson stuff's a lot more of a problem than
I think anyone could have told you that was a disaster waiting to happen when his name came up in discussions for UNC job.
So okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Week 6?
In addition to that, I do want to talk about the best coach in college football, which is hot seat Billy Napier. Billy Napier, before like inevitably being fired, just puts together a masterclass at home against Texas for like the 5th time in a row after people have wanted him fired. And I guess that is particularly like the Arch stuff is getting louder, and I don't know if I'm back in on Lagway because I was very in on him before the season. I don't know if I'm in on him now, but
no, don't do it to yourself.
I know he threw some ropes in that game. That I was like, goodness, man, this is the guy who we were expecting. But yeah, overall, not a surprising result though. Like we talked about before, like don't be surprised if Florida beats them, and that's not really surprising. So.
I'll give Lagway his flowers for this game. He did look really good. Like, except for the pick he had, he looked really good this game. I think the story of this was Florida's run game and their ability to commit to it this time. Because I feel like coming into the season, like the strength of this team was like, all right, they have a good stable of backs led by Jaden Baugh and the offensive line. And then they finally feature that, and Jaden Ball goes for 27 carries, 107 yards, and a tutty. It's like they finally committed to it. And Texas has a good run D. Like, we've watched and seen that they have studs on that defensive line, and they have a good defensive scheme, I feel like. But still, Florida committed to the run game, and it worked out for them. Like,
yeah.
And if Billy Napier would have done that earlier, Florida might be in a different spot right now, not sitting at 2-3. Like, it's a case of what if with Florida. And that's why always, like, if you're a Florida fan or a Florida booster, don't buy into Napier again. Like, I know he saved his job at the end of the year last year, and who knows? He could do a similar thing here. But he still is going to lose these games because of his decision-making and his play calling that cost Florida. So
they're not being A&M.
I don't think they are either. Like, I don't know. Florida's in a weird spot. They're in a weird spot because that team does have talent. They've recruited well out of high school and the portal, and like there's obviously NFL talent on that roster. So it's like they're in such a weird spot with Billy Napier because Florida is like one of those premier jobs where like it would be attractive for a coach to go there with the NIL they have, the program, like the name brand that is Florida. So it's like they're in such a weird spot, like because if they go on a hot streak and win a bunch of games again, how do they fire Napier? They probably should, but they probably won't if he goes on another hot streak. But I'm looking at the Week 6 slate. That really was all I wanted to touch on mainly. You know, Louisville obviously did not take Virginia to the woodshed as I predicted, so that was wrong.
And then Cincinnati beat Iowa State. Probably one of the more exciting games of the week again.
Yeah, that was a good one. Just like that spread, I think we like split on our like opinions. Like Cincinnati was a 1-point favorite, and whenever I see like a ranked team on the road against an unranked team, and the unranked team is favored, that always points to me, hey, take the unranked team. Like Vegas knows something. They're not making them a favorite for a reason. Like
so should we transition that into Red River? Do you consider
that's
that
what I was leaning on.
thing?
Yeah. Hey, let's start with Red River then, okay? I want to start with this one because it's interesting to me. Like, if you're watching, you don't know, Texas is currently a 2.5-point favorite, according to FanDuel, and the total set at 42.5. And my personal reason I think Texas is the favorite is because despite their issues with Arch and that offense and all their questions around that and the disappointment overall with just Arch and everything, that defense is still playing at a championship level. And I think John Mateer's injury, it's like, everything I've seen is he's questionable for this game. So if it's Michael Hawkins Jr., that makes me feel good about Texas in this spot. Like, I think Oklahoma is a very good team. I do. And, like, if John Mateer is healthy in this game, I would probably take Oklahoma, and Oklahoma probably would be favored. But, like, in this spot right here, I lean Texas. I do. It feels weird to say that with how disappointing they've been. But they're a favorite for a reason, I feel like. I feel like this is one of those spots where, hey, what does Vegas know? Like, they set the line at that for a reason. So, like, Juf, you had some thoughts. I think you should start with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Texas – I mean, Sark's out here complaining how they play such a hard schedule and how these losses are justified, which, I mean, you scheduled the Ohio State game. You could have pulled a Kirk Cignetti or a James Franklin and dodged it. But, I mean, you complain that you lost a game you agreed to put on your schedule. And then, I mean, you lose in the swamp against a 1-3 team. Like, you don't really have much to complain with. You lost those games. I'm big on Oklahoma. I think they're due up. I mean, this game's a cool setup because it's a neutral site pretty much. So, yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma here. I think they win even without Mateer. I still think they'll win because I think they just have the momentum going in. Texas they haven't really proved much this year. Arch is not good. He's a bottom quarterback in the SEC. So I like Oklahoma probably 30-24. I think they win this.
Matt?
So Texas, I think, is favored for a few reasons. One, obviously the health of Mateer, but primarily because Oklahoma cannot run the ball. And the Texas secondary is very good. And along with the rest of that defense, I think for them, they can probably keep it low scoring enough that they'll be in the game regardless. And Arch Manning will probably only need to make a few throws. But that being said, it's a, it's a spot for Texas now. It still makes no sense to me. It's crazy how this is the case. Like, if you had told me before the season, like, Oklahoma would be ranked in the Red River game and Texas would not be, that would be crazy. But yeah, it's a weird spot for Oklahoma, but I do think that Texas is the better team on paper. They're better on paper. I think defensively they're better. Biggest thing for Oklahoma is their pass rush, similar to how they were in that Auburn game, should be able to get through. Because Texas has had some serious O-line struggles. The Oklahoma pass rush is the strongest unit of their defense. So I'm seeing a pretty low-scoring game, especially if John Mateer is not going to be out there, which is kind of uncharacteristic for this rivalry. Usually it's very high-scoring. But yeah, I would probably say this is a game that Texas wins, and they are going to have to win. They do not have a choice. So we'll see, but I don't think Oklahoma has like much of a chance without John Mateer in this game.
Jacob.
I think I'm going to go. Honestly, I'm going to go Oklahoma in this one. I think they beat Texas. Texas just has not looked inspired at all this season. I think Oklahoma still wins with Michael Hawkins at the helm.
Can I do a score prediction?
Give me Oklahoma 30, Texas 27.
Okay. Matt, score prediction?
I'm going to say that Texas wins 27-24.
Yeah, I'm kind of more in line with you, Matt, on this one. Like, I think Texas wins 21-17, and the total's only 42.5. That would make it 38. I think the under hits. I think Texas covers that 2.5 point spread. I'm honestly probably going to take this spread like as soon as we get off this pod, because if we just announce that Mateer is out, Texas is only going to go up as a favorite. It might hit 4 or 5 if he gets announced that he's not playing. So I think Texas wins and Texas covers this one. It's a weird spot, but I like Texas in this one. And for the next one I was going to start with, this is a Friday night game. Number 24 South Alabama at North Texas, two of the top AAC teams. A potential college football spot in the line here. USF is a 1.5 point favorite. The total is 67.5. Jacob, you want to start with this one?
I'd like to just say you said South Alabama instead of South Florida. Yeah, you just said.
Okay, forgive me. I was at the Troy South Alabama game last Saturday. I meant South Florida.
Mm-hmm. But I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. Definitely must watch TV. I think I'm going to go with North Texas. Give me Drew Mestamaker to beat USF. USF's a flashy team, but I mean they're just kind of coasting on that Florida win. I think North Texas has a lot to prove as a team, and plus it's at North Texas, so I think North Texas has a better offense than South Florida at this point. So give me North Texas. I think the final score is going to be 38-31 over South Florida.
Juve.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ride with the Mean Green up in Denton. I think they can win this. I'm kind of with Jacob in the same logic. I mean, South Florida, I mean, they're a good team. Really expensive team. I don't know where South Florida's pockets came from. But, I mean, North Texas is complete. They're 5-0 for a reason. Also, the American Conference is just really good this year.
Yeah, Memphis
out of nowhere.
Really good too.
I couldn't even tell you who I think is going to win. I mean, Memphis is good. Both these teams are good. Tulane's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think North Texas wins this in a close one. I like them 24-21 with like a walk-off field goal.
All right, Matt.
Well, for starters, this game should be awesome. The quarterback matchup is going to be a lot of fun. Byron Brown, as we've probably discussed in here, he started the season on fire and kind of came back to earth a little bit. Obviously, that Miami game didn't really help his, he was getting Heisman hype. But North Texas quarterback, Drew Messmaker, he is a freshman, and he's been to this point like nearly perfect. 11 touchdowns, no picks. He is, bigger quarterback, really decent thrower of the ball. Someone is going to offer him a small fortune in the portal this winter probably. So I don't know if he'll be at North Texas for long, but yeah, both these teams can get up and down the field on each other probably, but I think South Florida will be a little more physical up front. They probably are a bit of a bigger, more athletic team, so I would probably favor them in this one. But I wouldn't be shocked if North Texas beat them. I would probably say that South Florida wins a close 31-28 type of game.
Yeah, I'm more in line with Jeffrey and Jacob on this one. I think these teams are very equal. If you look up and down this roster, like you said, Matt, USF does do a little more push on the offensive line or the line of scrimmages in general. But I think this one being at home favors North Texas in this one. If it was a neutral site, this might be a pick 'em, I feel like, or it definitely would be a pick 'em according to the odds makers. So I think I'm going to go in this one. I'm going to go North Texas 38 and South Florida 34. I think we're due for a really good Friday night game where two quarterbacks are dueling it out. Two of the best in the AAC for sure. I think this is going to be must watch TV. If you have plans Friday, cancel them. This is one of those games in one of the weekday games that you need to tune into that could have playoff implications on the line. Whoever wins this is in a really, really good spot to compete for that 12 seed, similar to how Boise State was last year. So, but any more thoughts on that one before we move to the next one? No?
I think that's pretty much covered it.
Yeah. All right, next one. Number 1, Ohio State. At number 17, Illinois. Ohio State is a 14.5-point favorite. The total is at 50.5. Juve, I'll let you start with this one.
I think Ohio State has another take them out to the woodshed moment, like Indiana did against Illinois. I think they can cover that 14.5. I think that Ohio State defense with Caleb Downs is pretty good.
Are they?
I think
I
so.
hadn't
Yeah.
noticed, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're good. Julian Sainz developing nicely. He's solid. Doesn't have any major flaws. I'll probably, I think I'm going to take Ohio State 35, Illinois 13.
It's a bold call from there. Juve saying Ohio State's defense is pretty good. That's bold coming from you.
I don't get to watch a lot of defense being a Big 12 fan, so.
All right, Matt, what you got?
So for the record, I'm not particularly high on Illinois. I don't think they're that good of a team. But that being said, I do think this is a decent spot for them. They're not going to win. I do think they have a chance to cover that 14.5. This opened at 16, I think. Ohio State defensively, they've been the best defense in the country to this point. Offensively, they're not quite as dominating as what I think we would have expected coming into the season. Sain's extremely efficient and has played pretty well for them, but they had to replace a ton in their backfield for starters. And these, Jeremiah Smith is not sneaking up on literally anyone. It's kind of been a little more of a struggle offensively than I thought it was going to be going into the season. So I do think that there's a scenario where Illinois, they are physical enough where they can probably hang with Ohio State for a little, hosting that game, bit of an earlier kickoff. So, I think that's not the worst spot in the world for them. But yeah, Ohio State's going to beat them. It's just a matter of how much. But the 14.5, that is a tough one. It's a tough line, and it's only a 50-point total. So yeah, I would say that Ohio State should beat them. It's just a matter of how locked in will Ohio State be to the point where they are going to just bludgeon them, or are they just going to be 31 to kind of 17 or something, and they just are content with that type of thing. So we'll see. But yeah, this should not be any kind of a trap spot for Ohio State. They up and down the field are significantly better than Illinois.
Yeah. Jacob?
I think this is a pretty open and shut case. I think Ohio State rolls 45-21 over Illinois. I will say the over. I think the over will hit in this game. I think it's going to be a lot of. There'll be a big play here, and then kind of Illinois won't be able to keep up with Ohio State, but they'll get some scores in. So I think Ohio State rolls pretty easily.
Yeah, score prediction, or you think Ohio State big?
I think 45-21 over Illinois.
Yeah, and this one, I think we're going to see a similar game to the Indiana-Illinois game. I think you're going to see a very similar path in this one. And I do think Ohio State covers that number, and the over does hit. I think Ohio State wins 45-13. I think this one's never in question. I mean, I just wanted to cover it because it is a ranked matchup on the road, and we do see crazier things in college football all the time. And I don't think anybody this year is unbeatable. I don't think there's one team outside of Miami and maybe Oregon who are okay, these seem like teams who on their best day you really can't beat them.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech has
add them in there.
The Big 12 has had Texas Tech, of course, and
I hate them, and they're going 12-0.
Yeah, probably, but yeah, I think Ohio State handles business here. Like I said, 45-13, and this next one, this is a game where it's to me, this is a who are you spot. We're gonna learn a lot about one of these teams. It's number 8 Alabama at number 14 Missouri. Alabama's a 2.5-point favorite. The total is 51.5. And I want to start with this one, actually. Like I teased a little bit, this is a who are you spot. Because if you've watched the games, Missouri has passed the eye test. But also, they rank 109th in strength of schedule out of 136 teams, with their best win being over South Carolina. So it's sure, they're winning these games, and they're undefeated. And Bo Prabila has looked awesome so far this year. But it's also they really haven't played anybody of much merit yet. So in this one, I think Alabama, after the Florida State loss, has looked at a different team. They went on the road, beat Georgia. They took care of business last week against Vandy, where they were overcoming that loss of last year, getting revenge in that spot. And I think Bama's in a good spot here. Missouri's a very good team under Eli Drinkwitz, but I do think Bama wins this one, 34-24. They cover that number and the overhits. I'll pass this to Matt.
Yeah, Bo has been awesome for Missouri, but it's Ahmad Hardy, the running back, who leads the nation in rushing. And they have been able to really pound teams because they have some serious balance. They run the ball really, really well. Pretty much the opposite of what Bama's been doing to teams recently. But yeah, this is going to be a tough spot for Missouri. They have not played anyone yet who has been able to stop the run. I thought that Bama's defense looked really, really good last week. That was the best that Kane Womack's unit has looked. If they can stop the run, this should be a spot where Bama should not really struggle. Bama's schedule heats up, and I don't foresee this as being a game that they particularly struggle with, but yeah, it's a huge spot for Missouri. They're definitely going to get a lot of equity with the rest of the country if they show any kind of fight and compete in this game against Bama. But yeah, I just think Bama's a better team. Ty Simpson is super locked in. I do not know if Missouri can score more than 21, 24 points on Bama. They're just going to have to do it through the air. They're going to have to show they can pass the ball. And if they stop Ahmad Hardy, then they give themselves a really good chance. So the knock on Bo when he was at Penn State was always he's not as good of a passer as Drew Aller. He's probably a better athlete and better runner, but yeah, people have always questioned well, what happens? What does Bo look like if you kind of make him one-dimensional and make him just try and beat you? So if Bama gets them into a ton of 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, longer than that, yeah, I think they're set up pretty well. So I would probably take Bama. I would take Bama to cover that as well. So yeah, I would say Bama probably like 35-24 type game.
Yeah. Juve, what you got?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just like to add, I think Bo Prabol is the biggest winner in terms of the Penn State situation because he got out before this ship sank, and now he's showing off his talents. But yeah, I think Ty Simpson's been playing great. I think Bama, Kalen finally figured out his team. So yeah, but also I do think Mizzou is solid. I think they're due for a big win, especially them being at home. I kind of like Mizzou with the upset here.
Okay.
In terms of a score, I think I'll go Mizzou. I think it's gonna be pretty low scoring. I like Mizzou 24, Bama 21.
I hope you're right. Just want to throw that in there. I hope you're right. But Jacob, what you got?
I think Missouri wins this game. Last week against Vanderbilt, Alabama, they moved the ball pretty good, but I mean Vanderbilt shot themselves in their own foot most of the time. I think Missouri doesn't make the same mistakes, and I think they get a close win over Alabama, 30-24.
And also, I want to add, if things go south with Auburn, Eli Drinkwitz and Bo Pereira are going to look awesome in these colors next year. I just want to say, I'm putting that in the air. I'm manifesting right now. I'm throwing that out there and hoping that comes to fruition. I'm tossing that out there, but yeah. So the next one I wanted to talk about, number 7 Indiana at number 3 Oregon. Oregon is a 7.5 point favorite. The total is 55.5. Matt, you want to start with this one?
I am not going to waste anyone's time. Oregon is going to crush Indiana. This game will not be close. Dan Lanning will run it up on Sig, and I don't think this will be a close game. I think Oregon will make it a point to beat the brakes off of Indiana. I think they are going to have just a ton of material to work with, and yeah, I think Oregon's going to blast Indiana. So, yeah, not much else to it for me. Yeah, that's all I care to add on this one. So
A woodshed classic, if you will.
What's that?
A woodshed classic, if you will.
Go back to the woodshed.
The woodshed is open for business. The woodshed will get plenty of use. They are going to need to put out like Darren DeVree highlight hype videos after this game to keep the fans engaged, I feel like. So I think Oregon's going to crush Indiana.
I just wanted to say I agree with Matt. William Luke, I'm making a prediction now. This will be next week's Sarah McLaughlin special.
Okay. We need to find our own like little segment of that where like Pate has this Sarah McLaughlin special. We need to do something like that where it's like the loser of the week, like whoever has just looked the worst, you know? That's something funny we should add for sure.
I just like I was gonna hop in for Auburn, Georgia, but I just had to hop in to add to what Matt was talking to about this game because like we know Dan Lanning, like when a coach runs their mouth and gives him motivation, like there's nobody. And these are both guys that are like going to want to get in a pissing match all week. Like I'm sure there's going to be some fun bars from both coaches this week because these are both guys who love to go into every game and talk shit and get the other team fired up and like, or really like as we know Sig does that, and then Dan Lanning like. You know, like he'll poke his chest out too, and if you try to poke your chest out at him, like he'll run it up on you and make an example of you. And it's like that shit that if Sig tries his typical shit this week, oh boy, like it's gonna be like when they played Colorado.
Yeah,
and like
it will be similar to that.
Yeah, Dan Lanning was like, oh yeah, like what'd you say?
They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Sig is going to say something stupid at some point this week, and Dan Lanning's going to be like, okay, we're going to beat you by 100.
He's the rare coach who, like, honestly feels the responsibility, like, and desire of the entire country to just put it on this guy. Like, everyone has wanted a piece of him, and no one has quite really, like, just told him, like, yeah, like, welcome to the fucking show yet. And
Notre Dame, but like,
yeah, but that was
but
still, like, close, kind of.
Marcus Freeman is also like too nice to like
Yes, but that
really
game
give it
also
back
was
to him.
like kind of not a total like shellacking of the other team. I think they only ended up like winning that game like by 7 points or something. But
Oh yeah, well they made a run at the end, but
Yeah.
Notre Dame dominated that game.
but I do not think Dan Lanning will allow it. Like I do not think he will allow it. I think they're going to just manhandle Indiana, and yeah, that is just one of those like there is no doubt in my mind that like Indiana beats them. I just do not see it.
You mean Oregon?
Yeah, I just don't think that Indiana beats Oregon. There's just no way. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, then I will seriously need to reevaluate some things. But yeah, I just don't see it happening.
You guys, this is real quick. I wanted to add on this game too. Like I was looking earlier today. You know, Mendoza is the current favorite to be the number 1 overall pick.
And the
I saw
Heisman,
that.
I'm pretty sure.
He should be.
No, he's not.
He
It's
looks
Dante
really
Moore.
good.
It's
Dante
No,
Dante
it's-
Moore
him.
for
Yeah, it's
Heisman.
Dante Moore for Heisman, but for number 1 overall pick, it's Mendoza.
I'll be honest, I haven't looked much, but like that's not surprising. I feel like with quarterback play, how it's been this year.
I mean, Mendoza's been awesome. Like
Yeah.
I don't
He's
want to give
turned it
Indiana more time than they deserve here. But yeah, like Mendoza's been the real deal. He's been great. He's definitely better. He's an upgrade from what they had at quarterback last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, he deserves all the hype he's getting, but he's just not seeing what he's about to see Saturday. So
No, I just popped back in to concur with Matt on that. But yes, I'm ready to watch Sig
Yes,
finally.
I'm
Just get
quite-
its
I'm ready-
doors
I'm ready
blown
to
off.
I'm ready to watch Indiana get their ass beat. That's what I'm
Yeah.
excited for.
All right, what's your score prediction then, Jacob?
It's not going to be like a super blowout, but it'll be blowout. 48-28 would be my score.
All right, Juve.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lanning and his guys. 42-21.
I do have an interesting note about the game. I have a friend and his fiance that live like 10 minutes from Oregon.
Mm.
They some of my friends were talking about flying out there and go to the game, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. I got you. But yeah, I don't know. In this one, I've like thought about it back and forth. Is like the 7.5 spread is not a massive spread. And it seems like everybody's on Oregon big. And I do think Oregon wins this one for sure, especially it being at home. And Dan Lanning has in the past, ran up the score and been against the spread monster, just trying to prove a point. But I do think something that's important in this one is Indiana's third in time possession offensively. Like they're going to want to hang on to the ball and just run the ball and bleed the clock and not let Dante Moore touch the ball any. And I think if you look at both of these, like Indiana and Oregon are both tied top 3 in the nation for scoring defense, averaging 12 points per game. So I think my favorite play in this whole game, like not picking the spread, is the under. Like I think Indiana's going to hold on to the ball. I think they're going to be methodical, just keep driving down the field, hold on to the ball a lot, try to dominate time of possession like they have all year. I think the under is the play in this one at 55.5. Like it's a kind of a higher total. I think this one goes under, unless y'all are right, and then Oregon just takes them to the woodshed like I joked about last week, and we've been joking about the whole week and everything like that. But I'm not going to pivot off my score prediction I already had. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to stick with it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I actually think Indiana covers this spread. I do, because of that time possession stat. Them hanging on to the ball. I think they're not going to let Oregon touch the ball a lot. They're going to dominate time possession. I think Oregon wins this one 27-23. I think Indiana loses but covers that 7.5. I think that hook right there, that 7.5, is probably going to be important here. Like if Indiana scores a last second touchdown to have a bad beat there and they cover this spread. But I do think Oregon wins this one. I think they're the better team and they're the coach better. But Trav, if you're listening, we're about to go over Georgia Auburn for the final game of Week 7. If you want to hop in for this one,
Oh boy, do I!
yeah. So this is probably the most interesting spread of the week and maybe the season.
Dude, when this spread came out, I was like, yes, like because that told me like the Jordan Hare voodoo Auburn Jesus dude, like
Vegas is
dude, like I don't know if Auburn's gonna win this game, but like Jordan Hare is going to be like a house of horrors on Saturday night.
Let me say this. I don't think Auburn wins, but here's what's going to happen. Either Georgia's going to blow us out and cover this spread easily, and then the Hugh Freeze firing talks are going to get even hotter, or we're going to win this game outright. Like, I don't think there's no in between. We're not going to cover the spread. We're either going to win or get our doors blown off. There's no in this one.
I disagree with that. I think this is going to be an absolute knockdown, drag out. So
you think we cover?
If I'm giving a score prediction right now, I don't want to say Auburn's going to win and but this is good. Some 13-10. Georgia can't move the ball the whole game and then goes on an 80-yard drive and I'm getting 2021 Iron Bowl vibes going into this game, where it's just an absolute slugfest. DJ Durkin throws the kitchen sink at Georgia. And, I mean, we've seen Georgia have these vulnerabilities this year and teams be able to keep it close with them. Obviously, it was the opposite game script of Tennessee, where it was a shootout. And, that's not going to be the case here. If Georgia scores more than 20 points, they win this game easily, probably. But, I mean, we just did the same thing on the road at Texas A&M. The defense, played a masterpiece in that game.
And we still lost.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This game is at home. It's a night game at Jordan Hare. It's Cam Newton's jersey retirement. We know Hugh Freeze has got to be desperate at this point. The defense has been playing great, or just played great against Oklahoma and A&M and kept us in both of those games. This is setting up perfect to whether Auburn wins or not, it's setting up to be a Jordan Hare house of horrors. I mean, yeah, we know we've been saying it for years. The Auburn Jesus, this is prime setting up to be that kind of game for Auburn.
Coming off two bad losses, you have no business being in this game against Georgia,
right?
And you're hanging around. But
it's I think Vegas knows that. Yeah. Vegas is we're not getting beat by Jordan Hare this time.
Because if you're an Auburn fan and you are looking for a path to win, it's probably the lack of Georgia pass rush and how bad they've struggled getting after their quarterback.
Bingo.
Not to bring up past things, Juve, here, but Baylor is currently 115th in the nation in sacks per game with 1. Georgia's in that same spot. They average 1 sack per game, just like Baylor did. Because Baylor after Jackson Arnold, and that's that Baylor game. Auburn can put points up here and score a lot.
And Georgia cannot. They don't have the ability to rush the passer in the same way A&M and Oklahoma did.
Even and that's multiple blitzers, they can't get after their quarterback. We've seen it. They couldn't get after Joey Aguilar at Tennessee. They couldn't get after Ty Simpson. This has been a reoccurring thing with this Georgia team this year, and it's surprising when you have the defensive staff and personnel that they do.
Dude, here's a crazy prediction. 13-10 was probably a little too low for my prediction. I don't think it'll be that, but Auburn will score a defensive touchdown in this game. Some stupid Auburn 90-yard scoop and score is going to happen in this game. Dude, we know as Auburn fans for years how these games go at Jordan Hare, where it's a haunted house. It's a haunted house for these ranked teams and these top where they come in and it's just. And we were in the same situation 2 years ago when we played Georgia. We were we looked horrible, and then they came into Jordan Hare and almost got beat. It took Brock Bowers completely taking over the game.
Because in the first half, Brock Bowers did nothing, and then the second half, we did everything we could. We switched different defenders on him. We put a safety over him, and still he ate us up. And that's the reason Georgia beat us.
And by the way, how did I say defensive touchdown? Like that's what happened in that Auburn Georgia game. What was the first score of the game? Jalen Simpson, pick 6.
Yeah.
Like
something weird's gonna happen. Like you remember this Jacoby McClain where Matt Jones threw him Najee Harris's back and he ran it back 100 yards. Some weird crap like that's gonna happen this game. Where like I don't think Auburn wins. I don't think we're good enough offensively. But if you're looking for a path for Auburn to win, there's at least one if you go, okay, Auburn Jesus, and then like the lack of Georgia pass rush. And now their run defense is stout. But when you factor in the weapons we do have on the perimeter, if Hugh Freeze will utilize them and Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton and Malcolm Simmons, there is a path for Auburn fans. And now I'm giving myself hope again, and then we're going to lose in some heartbreaking way this weekend. I'm calling it.
When that spread came out, I was just like I don't Vegas must have talked to I think Auburn Jesus called Vegas and was like, hey, I'm showing up Saturday.
It'd be the first time in a while he's shown up at home.
I mean, I just this is like I said, and this is the first we never play Georgia or Alabama at night. It never happens.
No,
I think
and you're
the last time. I think the last time we played either Georgia or Alabama at home at night was 14 was at Tuscaloosa. I don't know when the last time.
Night.
Huh?
19 was the last home game at night.
That was still a 3:30 kickoff against.
You're right. It was. Yeah. It was.
That's what I'm saying. I think a true night game against Alabama or Georgia, I don't think Auburn has had that in a long time. Because
you're going to this one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just this is everything. It's Cam's jersey retirement. Dude, it is going to be an all-time atmosphere at Jordan Hare. So like I said, I'm not saying all this to be we're winning, but I'm saying all this to be we might not win, but I definitely don't think we're getting the doors blown off here.
No, and also now that we've discovered that Xavier Chaplin, our starting right tackle, has hearing issues.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did y'all hear about that?
Wait, what?
So our starting right tackle, Xavier Chaplin, has been having issues with false starts against OU and Texas A&M. And they just came out this week and were like, yeah, we did a hearing test on him. He can't hear the snap count, so that's why he was jumping off sides. He has hearing issues. And I'm like,
get him hearing aids.
That's
Hugh Freeze is at the last couple years has reminded me, and I've said this a bunch, and the analogy I thought to you remember Ron Rivera's last year in Washington, where it's just you gotta keep the quiet stuff in the building. There's certain things that you just don't have to say out loud. And
he always does this though. He always says the quiet things out loud, and I'm like, why say that? That gives your opponent an advantage. What are we doing here? I could go on and on about it, but I'm gonna stop.
I just I hear it. Everybody else has to say about this, but this just has Jordan Hare witchcraft game written all over it.
Yeah. Well,
Auburn will not be visiting the woodshed Saturday.
No, I hope not. At least, Matt, what do you think?
So we were talking about James Franklin before, and Hugh Freeze. I think we've talked about it. He's got to win one of these games. He's got to win the Georgia game or the Iron Bowl probably to keep his job, I would say. So I think this one is the most likely. They're getting Georgia pretty early still. And this, as we've discussed, is not there is no Brock Bowers this year.
No.
There's not that kind of player. Zach Branch is still going to be a handful, but I think the one area that Auburn could really expose, Tennessee just ripped apart their secondary, and the Auburn receivers are better than what Tennessee's working with. So if they can get, they'll have a few opportunities to take some shots down the field probably, and they have the receivers to
to
I
threaten
would
them.
say probably, yeah, like make some impact plays in that regard. But yeah, overall, I feel as if this being a night game, like I've never seen that before in this game.
And Cam
And
Newton's jersey retirement.
yes, so that place is going to be just absolutely like out of control. So I do think I think a lower scoring game does benefit Auburn more than like what Georgia was in with Tennessee. Um, I do think that probably so like in that aspect, I do think that a lower scoring game would benefit them. But yeah, I mean, I think Georgia's better than them. Um, I'm not like I don't think
Whoa.
Georgia also can afford to drop this game. I don't think they can afford it either. So like if there were anyone who were like, what game should I watch this weekend? Like this is definitely like the one game that I would like be like, you just simply have to watch this because both the teams are seriously desperate in several ways. Both Hugh Freeze because his job might be on the line, and just because Georgia really like, I mean, the schedule they still have to play Texas, they still have to play Georgia Tech, which might be a really tough game for them, and they still have to play Florida. So I think that this is just a game that both teams really have to have. But yeah, I don't know. I think that as you guys have said, this game always delivers, and
This
yeah,
game, like
it
for
just
context to this rivalry, I just wanted to add to what Matt was saying. And I it grew on me. William Lee, you remember a couple years ago we went to Tiger Talk the week like the Thursday before we played Georgia,
Yes.
and like me and William Luke were talking to Jalen Simpson, and and he was like, so, and then we pull both of these teams have a lot of talent from Georgia. Like both of
yeah,
these teams have guys who have been playing football against each other since Pop Warner, and like we talked to Jalen Simpson, and like I went into that game like that was Brian Harson's Auburn team. That was Hugh Freeze's first year, and like I had no confidence going into that game. But when we talked to Jalen Simpson, he was like, no, like we want to whoop their ass, like we hate them, like we feel good, and he was like just like went on about like when he was a kid and all the people he knows from because he's from Georgia and all the people. Hey, he's a Colt now, by the way, Jacob. All the people he knows from back home that are Georgia fans that are always talking shit and stuff. Like this game like means something to these teams. Like there's a lot of guys on both of these teams who have been playing against each other since they were kids, and guys who are at Auburn that have family and friends that are Georgia fans and vice versa and stuff. Like this is like this rivalry means something to these teams. That's why I know like we have a talented team and these guys will get up for this game.
yeah.
For
So
sure.
I ultimately, I mean, this might very well be like a final possession, like who makes the least amount of mistakes, type of game. But there's no, I would pretty much guarantee you this game will be close. Jordan will be out of control, and yeah, I like slightly lean Georgia, but like I totally agree with you guys. Like I would not be shocked if like Auburn had a defensive score or they blocked a punt for a touchdown or something. Yeah, I could totally see that. But yeah, gun to my head would say Georgia probably wins in like a really really close game, but we'll see. That's why they play the games.
I'm this week like I'm like the Michael Scott meme where he's like, I'm so ready to get hurt again. Like because
Yeah.
like Auburn is like I said, like I feel confident like that this is going to be a wild game, and like this is like setting up like Auburn is going to find some excruciating way to lose this game.
Yeah.
And
Can't
it
wait.
is going to hurt. But dude, like I'm ready for it.
The last second, Jackson Arnold fumbles and hit like crack. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be something that's gonna like a backbreaker.
I don't think people who aren't like in our circle like just give enough like because obviously like everybody knows the Iron Bowl and like Georgia, Florida. So it's like both of these schools, like in theory, have like bigger rivals than each other. But like, I don't think nationally, like the scope of like people recognize like how big a rivalry this is and how important like this game is to these schools. Like, I knew people who, when I lived in Georgia, like there was a couple people I talked to who like the only game they watched all year is the Auburn Georgia game. Like, that's like where they're just like not big football games, but like the Auburn Georgia game is like I don't think the national scale, just because both of these schools have bigger rivals than each other, but is like gets enough credit for like how big and how important this rivalry is to people in this area and players on this team and alumni of the university and everything.
I mean,
And I'm
first game
thinking
Auburn
that-
ever played in was against Georgia back in like 1892 or something.
It's the Deep
when they won,
South's
like,
oldest rivalry.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's Auburn's first game ever, Georgia's first game ever, I believe. So it's like it's a big deal.
I also
Big rival.
think that because I'm pretty sure Kirk and Fowler are going to be on Red River. CBS obviously is going to Oregon. I hope that this is Joe Tessitore on the
No,
call.
it's McDonough and McElroy.
Oh, that is tough to hear.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
nah,
check the
dude, like
announcer assignments because I was really hoping that it would be Joe Tess, but
yeah, Tess would probably blow his voice box out.
I
Like,
he would have nothing
I don't
left
know.
after that game.
Tess might be. I don't know if he's going to be calling games this weekend or they're going to have him in Australia for WWE.
I know,
but,
that's
like,
true, yeah.
By the way, lore to the Deep South's oldest rival. Jacob will appreciate this as a SoCon guy. Do you guys know? Fun fact: the real Deep South's oldest rivalry is Furman versus Wofford. It was
I did
actually, yeah,
How did you
it was
figure that out?
research. Yeah, the real Deep South's oldest rivalry is Furman versus Wofford. But I think so. They played a few years before Auburn and Georgia did, and they stopped playing for a few years. And Auburn and Georgia started playing, and they staked a claim to the Deep South's oldest rivalry nickname. But when Furman and Wofford play, they still also call their game the Deep South's oldest rivalry because they stake their own claim to it, and they're not just going to roll over for Auburn and Georgia. So,
Good, like how Harvard and Yale do for the game.
You had
right?
and then you have Richmond and William and Mary. I think they have like the South's oldest rivalry instead of the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Mm.
But I had to give the Deep South's oldest rivalry, especially with our SoCon expert Jacob, the Furman and Wofford lore for anybody who's curious about that.
The country club rivalry.
Juve,
what I
we
like
haven't
to
heard anything
call
from you about this one. What do you think?
I like Georgia, but I'm with Travis. This is gonna be some weird, like, it's gonna be really close, and then it'll be some random Georgia. They find a way to get in. I like 17-10 Georgia.
Auburn hangs around and then Georgia pulls away at the end. Has an offensive explosion in the last 10 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember it was one of the games the Chiefs lost? So like they showed some chick in the crowd who was like doing actual like witchcraft and had like the Patrick Mahomes doll with her. Like, can somebody get me like a Kirby Smart doll like to bring to this game? Because like I'll do it for the people. Like I'll take the hit. Like I don't know. I love the Auburn Georgia game, man. Like it's like I love this rivalry. I mean I hate Georgia, but it's like I don't know. I have just with like people I know in my life, it's like I have a lot more fun with this rivalry and the Auburn Georgia rivalry and some of the people I've gotten to meet and be friends with than Auburn Alabama, where it's just like I don't, it's a different level of hate, I guess, like with Auburn Alabama, where it's like it's not fun. I just hate them so much and I want to destroy them. Like the Auburn Georgia rivalry, like don't get me wrong, I hate them, but it is also like fun. Like I
There's
enjoy the
levels to it.
rivalry.
That
What'd you say?
will
There's
go
levels
out.
to it.
Yeah. Like you're like Oh, this is fun. As soon as Austin starts barking at you or something, that'll be it. Yeah.
No. I'm surprised the group chat hasn't already blown up about that and he hadn't said anything. And also, but just like between me and Austin, it's lining up for an all-time weekend between me and him. Auburn and Georgia play, and then Sunday right after that, Commanders Bears play. Just an all-time toxic week between me and Austin, just lining up and like I don't know. If it's anything like last year's Commanders Bears game, it's gonna be rough.
Mm-hmm.
Our group chat had a great weekend, by the way. We were talking about it.
Gosh,
the Patriots take down the Bills, the Commanders take down the Chargers, the Broncos take down the Eagles, and then the Jags take down the Chiefs tonight. Like, our teams were well represented with like
4-0.
big wins this weekend.
4-0 for their group chat.
And then there's Dylan.
Dylan, yeah.
Poor Dylan. Poor Dylan. Oh,
Tennessee, we're not really sure.
Wait, he's a Titans fan?
No, he's a Tennessee Volunteers fan.
Oh, Vols fan.
He's a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Oh, Raiders fan? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rough.
Colts put belt to ass to the Raiders this weekend.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, we'll see what obviously, like, there hasn't been a lot to get excited about with Auburn like the last few weeks. But like, the thing is like, even though like we haven't played good, but like we've been in those games versus really good teams the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like if they managed, like they could have gone on the road and beat Texas A&M in College Station if they could have managed to put together one offensive drive. Like so, like. It's been frustrating, but like I'm juiced up for this game. Like I think it's going to be one of the best environments ever, because like we talked about, like we don't get these games at night in these rivalries because it's almost always the 3:30 game, which by the way, like SEC Nation going to Columbia instead of Auburn for the Auburn-Georgia game was just what a terrible call. Like I had already penciled in that SEC Nation was going to be here this weekend, and I'm like, oh, okay. We lost Juve.
Let's say we lost our boy. Oh man.
Hold on. I gotta leave. I have no sound. This keeps happening. I'll be back.
Okay. But we all gave our predictions, didn't we? Well, I didn't give my prediction, actually.
I didn't give a score prediction.
Well, if you want, go ahead, Jacob.
I guess I'd say Georgia. Let's say Georgia.
Dude,
every
time somebody leaves,
Auburn 17.
Every time somebody leaves, I lose all sound. Like that's been happening the last couple weeks. I don't know what's going on.
And he couldn't hear me. The one episode, he couldn't hear me at all. The Mac.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What was your score prediction, Jacob?
Georgia 31, Auburn 17.
I think it'll be closer than that. But
Did I just get you to completely like flip your opinion on this game going in?
No, I had it as a close game. Like, I guess we'll turn to me now and I'll give mine. Like, I do think this one's gonna be a lot closer. I think a lot of people are gonna have money on Georgia minus 3.5 or 3, whatever this number ends up at. But I do think Auburn keeps this one close. They do lose, but I think Georgia wins 27-24. I think they do cover that spread.
We do, Cook. Yeah, that's what you said. You said we're either going to win or we're going to get blown out and not cover.
I don't know, man. I know I started with that, but like, I don't know, bro. It's tough to tell, man. I don't know. I really have no feel on this game, like betting wise, but I'll probably go with my initial reaction. Like score prediction wise, I hope we keep it close, but we're either winning or getting blown out, I guess. I don't know. I'll pass it to Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be close, and I'm going to say Georgia wins also. And I'm going to I'll say they win like 19-16 or some weird score. Yeah, just to like stay in theme with the shenanigans that come in that game.
I think, you know what? I'm gonna do it. It's gonna like we said, it's gonna be just like Matt. Same thing Matt said, like some weird score. It's going to be Auburn 14, Georgia 13, and Auburn blocks a field goal to win the game.
Calling your shot.
Like, dude, like it's just like, dude, I just like there's gonna be some wacky shit happening on the plains on Saturday night, man. Like,
This has
I don't
the
like,
game written all over it for sure.
yeah, like it's just, I don't know, man. Like I just, it's been a long time since we've had like a true like Jordan Hare like voodoo game. Like I'm ready for it again.
We're due. But that's all I really had lined up. I wanted to really touch on for week 7. Is there any other games that y'all have eyed that want to go over before we end the pod?
Let me look.
I'll read it out to y'all since y'all are going to stay on. We got Pitt, Florida State, Washington State, Ole Miss, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, NC State, Notre Dame, Iowa State, Colorado, Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida, Texas A&M, Kansas goes to Texas Tech, Michigan, USC, South Carolina, LSU, BYU, Arizona, then Arizona State, Utah. I wish Juve was here for the Arizona State, Utah for the Big 12 game. I would love to hear his analysis on that one about Kenny Dillingham.
I feel like Kansas, Texas Tech could be a sneaky good game. Like, be a shootout, I think.
Okay.
The USC Michigan is not really one that I would say that anyone that I know has a good read on.
Michigan.
That's probably going to be the hardest game to predict, but I would personally lean going Michigan, but who knows?
Yeah. I lean Michigan in that one too, but I don't really have a good read on it either. That's one betting wise I'm not going to touch. I can see it going either way. Like USC at home, a small favorite, but I do think Michigan's the better team. But who knows? It's a weird spot. It's a weird game.
Some of those games are good games. That way, we didn't really talk about that one or the Arizona State Utah, but like those are good games. And we got BYU Arizona. That's another good one.
Yeah.
In the American, there's another good game on Thursday night. ECU and Tulane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jacob, I'll give you your ECU minute since Purdue is on or has a bye week or had a bye week or whatever.
Jacob's
Wait, what?
East Carolina minute.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here for. Yeah, I didn't know ECU was
Has
one
that
of
been
the
a
statements.
statement? Wait, what were we giving him the minute for?
Tennessee
ETSU.
State.
ETSU. My bad. My bad.
Hey, they are what ECU is the Bucks as well. So
No, it's the
yeah.
Pirates.
or the Pirates.
No,
Okay,
we
close
got-
enough.
We got into beef. There was like beef on Twitter between us and ECU. A while
Oh, do tell.
It's like
I want to hear
like,
the ETSU ECU.
I guess ETSU like apparently stole like I don't know, they had like some promotion or something at the game, and like a bunch of like ECU like fan accounts were like, "You stole this from us," and we were like, "What? What are you talking about?" And it's like we're a pirate school too. I forget exactly what it was, but I remember they were like in ETSU's like athletic account mentions. And there's like beef on Twitter.
We need ETSU and ECU to play for like a pirate ship, like to
Yeah.
the winner or something. Like,
Play for a
I-
pirate ship trophy.
We probably did back in like the 70s or 80s. But
what happened to Juve?
He said he got a phone call he had to go.
Oh,
So
was that Dave Aranda? Like,
it might have been
Probably.
Sarah Robertson.
Yeah.
Could have
Art
been.
Briles.
Could have been. Let's see.
no,
I think-
but seriously,
Did you guys? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to talk about ETSU for my ETSU minute, but like
Do it.
not looking good. We choked 3 games away this year that we've led that we should have won within like the final 5 minutes of the game. Did it to Mercer, did it to West Georgia, and did it to Furman this weekend. We should have won all 3.
I know what I want to do. Have we talked about Feinbaum on here?
No, we haven't. We have not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I guess it's not completely like college football, but I mean, it's college football related. Are we going to have Senator Paul Feinbaum?
It seems that way. I mean, like, didn't they say he couldn't be on ESPN?
So that was a wild scene today. So Clay Travis reported, I think Clay Travis and On3 both reported that he was pulled from ESPN programming, which of note, he was still on SEC Network because SEC, like they're both under the ESPN umbrella, but SEC, like they're two separate like entities, like with different decision makers. So SEC Network still had him on, but he got pulled from his regular like Get Up and First Take and like ESPN programming.
Yeah.
And after he did the interview with Clay Travis, where he said he was thinking about running for Senate and all that. And then they reported today about him being pulled from ESPN program, which was from Clay and On3, like multiple outlets. And then ESPN, it sounds like they started scrambling because they were getting heat for it. And they were like, oh, no, Paul hasn't been pulled from ESPN. They thought they could just like sneak it by and nobody would catch it, I guess. And they did. So I guess, so they said, oh, he's been scheduled to be on First Take tomorrow for weeks. He'll be on tomorrow. And they got some sports business journal guy to be their carnival barker and report that for them. That like, no, this isn't true. Like, he hasn't been pulled, but he's on Get Up almost every day. And then after he did that interview, it was like multiple days he wasn't on Get Up. So like it was obvious like something was going on, like conveniently timed with that happening.
And they were trying to sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably, considering how many good games there are this weekend, and even with the James Franklin, well, not more than the James Franklin, that's one of the more crazy headlines and like things that's going on in the realm of college football this week for sure. The whole Paul Feinbaum like potentially leaving ESPN and leaving journalism to go be a like in Senate, like throw his hat in there.
I guess Bruce Pearl said no, and now Paul Feinbaum is the next choice.
Yeah, I was about to make that joke, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, that was a wild story. I wanted to make sure we made mention of that while I was on here because that's been interesting to follow.
Isn't Derek Dooley running for office?
Yes, in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Derek Dooley. What an interesting time. Those orange pants.
One of the few college coaches that have a law degree.
Do you guys remember when Dooley when he broke his leg and was coaching on like the game after he broke his leg? Like there's that picture where it's like they lost on the last play. I think it was like it was like LSU, and they were pushing, like they took that picture where they were like pushing him down the ramp in the wheelchair, like right by all the fans. Man, Dooley was only at Tennessee for 2 years, but that was like that was an interesting time in college football. Yeah. What was it? It's when they beat LSU and they had like 13 guys on the field.
Yeah,
they gave them another
play over, and then they lost.
It's funny.
Fun time.
Tennessee had some years there, man, like where they went from Dooley to Kiffin, and then Kiffin left and went to USC.
Yeah,
that's who Dooley took over for.
So they went Dooley, Kiffin, then Butch Jones. Like and then Jeremy Pruitt. Like what a wild like coaching history they had there for a few years. I mean, Butch had him going there a little bit.
He did.
Josh Dobbs.
Joshua Dobbs, the Pastronaut.
Yeah.
The champions of life. I was with my buddy who's a Tennessee fan over the weekend, and we had a whole reliving the Greg Schiano, Clay Travis, like the craziest Sunday in the history of college football. Like oh my God, that was a wild time, man. Like they didn't want Greg Schiano to be their coach, and next thing you know, we're digging up stuff tying Greg Schiano to Sandusky. Like
and then they hired a grown adult that doesn't like asparagus.
What?
What?
Did you not hear about Jeremy Pruitt not liking asparagus?
No.
I'm not kept
but
up with that one.
It was a whole thing. Like it was like mid-interview, he starts talking about asparagus.
Yeah, no, I must have missed that one.
Jeremy Pruitt asparagus.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think back. Like, would they have been any worse with Craig Schiano than they were with Pruitt? Like,
Probably not. No.
Probably not. Yeah. Probably.
I mean,
not.
there's no way Greg Schiano at Tennessee would have worked. But like,
Yeah.
Jacob, did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, I did. There's like an interview of him. He was on like the high school coach show.
I believe you can present it like.
I mean,
yeah, I can put it up here.
Yeah, tell Travis when you got it. What a show. We're almost going for 2 hours, and now we're talking about asparagus at the end.
I love it.
This is just the best. You're not going to find this anywhere else, by the way.
Here we go.
Matt's in a position to challenge because he's so hard-headed. He's got to prove to you. You either got to tell him he can't do it or embarrass him, where he basically just gets mad. You two guys have been good for each other. What is that? Asparagus. You don't like asparagus? I ain't never heard of it. Y'all try it. Probably good for your stress and stuff. My stress.
What did we just watch?
What was that, bro?
that was like that's a clip from like when he was a high school coach. He was on some like I guess they had a TV show on MTV about high school
Yes, they had
coaches.
2 days.
2 days is what it was called.
Yeah, never heard of that. That's a first.
What is that? Oh my god.
That's funny. So that's when you knew, Jacob, that he wasn't going to work out.
Yeah,
That's what gave it away.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
he didn't seem very bright. We'll put it that way.
Because the man.
Okay. How has there not been like a documentary about like the Schiano, like and all that? Like, has enough time passed? Like, where? So I feel like most of the people who are with the program there are gone now
Yeah.
anyway. So like, can we get like a documentary about that day or something? Like,
Some context.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
they're like protesting and like painting the rock like fuck Greg Schiano and like all this stuff and like yeah, that was and then we had Stop Steal at Auburn. That was
Yeah,
not to the level that one was, but it was
No.
a similar kind of movement.
it worked though.
I mean, it worked in stopping the hire, but
Yeah.
in both situations, it's like, well, you might as well have just stuck with the original hire because like
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was rough. That was
couldn't have been
rough.
worse than the potato famine.
No, I mean, like, if we would have hired still, at least should have like said, okay, we're gonna have a great defense. I feel like.
Oh, speaking of potato famine, the Bears were knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten over the weekend. They got absolutely shelled by. I don't like Duke. Like that game kicked off like because Duke flew out there for that game, and like so, you know they're on Eastern time. So in Duke's body clocks, that was like a 2 a.m. kickoff,
Yeah.
and they just went and like beat the shit out of Cal
Yeah,
in Berkeley. It was a wild one.
I feel like Duke's the hardest team to pin this year, or a hard team to pin this year.
That's what my
They have
my
a great QB, but not much else.
My favorite tweet I saw a couple weeks ago, I can't remember who tweeted it, was like, I hate the ACC so much for making Duke a thing every year. You see, they just gave Trevor Lawrence's birthday cake to a random fan.
What?
Yeah.
I cut the game off till it was over. Like I
Yeah,
wasn't.
they brought Trevor Lawrence a birthday cake, and then like him and SVP took like a piece, and then SVP just went and gave it to a fan.
Just a random fan in the crowd.
Yeah.
I love SVP. I'm a big fan. But
We need Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
SVP. SVP. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
it's funny. But actually, if y'all got time, we could cover this one game actually that I didn't pick up on early. Got Florida at Texas A&M. A&M's like a 8.5 point favorite, I think 7.5, something like that. Oh, they're 7.5. They opened at 8.5. The total's 46.5. Matt, what do you got?
Just as I'm getting back into DJ Legway as like a legit guy and pro prospect, I feel as if that A&M is gonna hold him to like 90 yards passing and he'll have 3 picks or something. But yeah, I think Florida's gonna win more games. I think Napier's gonna keep his job. However, I do not think this game against A&M is going to be one of those that they win.
No. I would agree.
If you're a Florida fan, do you want to win this game? Or
Probably
you got to be like, no, like we cannot do this again. Like,
No.
I mean, the only games that they probably want to win the rest of the season are the Georgia game and the Florida State game, I would imagine. And then after that, they're probably like, well, we're good with everything else.
Jacob.
I'm not sure. I think A&M probably has this in the bag, if I had to guess.
Travis.
I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be another ugly one, but I feel like Florida probably wins this, but the defenses will be strong here. I don't know. Florida, it's like all the games they've lost this year. It's like they're not like bad, terrible, like especially on the defensive side of the ball. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They can take any team in the nation into the mud if they need to. And I mean, we oh my God.
You good?
Holy shit. Oh, choked for a second. But we just saw Auburn take A&M into the mud 2 weeks ago. So no reason why Florida couldn't do it here. It's one of the most talented defenses in the SEC. So yeah, I think I like what 8.5, 7.5. You said I think Florida can cover that.
Yeah. I would agree. But yeah, I'm gonna go score prediction wise. I'm gonna say A&M 24, Florida 17. I'm still not a huge believer in Lagway, but I think they can do enough with their run game and make Texas A&M be honest, and bring more people down to the box where Lagway can make enough plays with his arm where I think they keep it close enough. I think Florida covers, but Texas A&M does win.
I was finna say 23-17, so we were literally on the same wavelength.
Yeah, we're not that far apart. But is there any other games or anything else y'all want to touch on before we hop off of here?
Yeah, let me take one more sweep. Anything worth mentioning here? We had the first leg of the Commander-in-Chief's trophy over the weekend. Navy beat Air Force.
Navy should be ranked. Yeah.
I do have one team that I want to shout out. Old Dominion.
Oh yeah. Good call.
They
are mowing everybody down in the Sun Belt. Like
I have a feeling they're gonna blow out James Madison when they play.
Old Dominion has a legit shot the way they're playing right now, and like they're a real contender to get that Group of 5 playoff bid. I mean, they're mowing the Sun Belt down, and if the American teams kind of beat up on each other, cannibalize each other, Old Dominion is an easy candidate to sneak in and get that Group of 5 bid and lose by 100 to Georgia or something.
Because Colton Joseph is a great QB.
And they already have they beat Virginia Tech, which is we know Virginia Tech's not great, but you always look at those
that's
Group
more
of 5
Power
teams.
4 teams than Penn State and Texas have beaten.
Yeah. And Boise was one of the contenders for that bid, and they just took their second loss and got dominated by Notre Dame. So
I wish Joof was still in here. Some guy named Reed at 11:06 said Jeff doesn't know ball. I wish he was still here to defend himself right now.
Yeah.
Dang.
Shame.
I wish I would have saw that comment earlier. Daggone it. I need to start checking the comments more.
Is that Dabo Swinney that just like overtook you or something?
Me?
Dadgummit.
It's like
sounded like Dabo.
it's like me at Atlanta turning into Ward Burton.
Oh my god. He's this dang NASCAR man. Dang. Yeah, I was with Jacob yesterday. He didn't say dang. I didn't hear any dangs yesterday.
I think I just like got addicted to saying it, and then it just inherited me the more beer I drank, the more I said it.
Tennessee, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Blowout.
Over.
Yeah, I'll take the point over in the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Jacob, I got a question for you, my man. Let me pull this photo up real quick. See if I can get it. Why is your text so large?
I don't know. That was a mistake. It wasn't like that earlier in the day.
Dude, this is like in 100 font.
Yeah.
We're sitting there yesterday, and Jacob's texting in front of me, and I'm just like, "Oh my god! Like, what am I looking at?" He's got like the 75-year-old man like font on his phone, where it's like the biggest thing you've ever like. He has like this man's texting billboards over here. Like, it's like the whole screen would be one text. Like.
I mean, I could read exactly what you were talking about too, just from that one text, bro.
That's why I was trying to be like nosy and read your messages, but I look over at your phone and it's like, okay, well, I mean, you basically got a billboard in your hands here with like what you're talking about. I mean, you're talking in one of the group chats I'm in anyway, so.
It's like one of those texts where like you catch like an old person saying something like on text they shouldn't be, and it's in the largest font you've ever seen.
The NFL games, and it's like some grandpa flirting with some chick, and he's like talking about the nastiest stuff ever. Like on Twitter.
Wait, can I ask you this now? Have you adjusted your font since?
Yes, I did it immediately. It must have got like that. Yeah. It got like zoomed in, and I must have had my phone open when I had my text app open, and it like zoomed in.
I'll tell you one thing over the weekend. I wish Brent Musburger was calling the North Carolina Clemson game. If you know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Brent Musburger would have had a time with that.
You would have had one before with Bill's girlfriend alone. Would have been like, wow, what a beautiful. I mean, young men.
If you're a young boy, start throwing the football around.
Yeah, you start getting into you get into coaching, and so in your 70s, you'll find a woman like her. Wow.
You're a young boy. You start throwing the football around. He was on it wasn't even because he did the same thing with was it the Jets girl? What was her name? Florida State. Like, why am I blank? The Brett Favre girl.
Sturger.
Yeah, that was Musburger too.
Yeah.
He was like, what did he say? He was like, applications at Florida State just shot up now, and like they showed.
I forgot about those, but those are hilarious. Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, North Carolina. Yeah, Musburger would have been all over that.
Would have had a field day.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, is there anything else?
I think that we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, we've touched on James Franklin, Paul Feinbaum for Senate, all the Week 6 games we liked, and now the Week 7 ones we like. So I think that's really it. That's all I had. I don't know if you want to add anything else before we hop off.
I didn't see Dabo's press conference after the game. Any good quotes this week?
I didn't watch it.
I
I'll be
didn't
honest.
either.
I did not watch that one.
Usually a safe bet for some good Dabo press conference quotes lately. I didn't know if we had any of those this weekend. Yeah.
I don't think there's any Dabo-isms for this week.
There
is
hire me. I'll go somewhere else and win. Yeah. Speaking of which, I wasn't on here last week, but yeah, so that reporter that Brian Kelly just scolded a few weeks ago was right. Like, they cannot run the ball at all. Like, they are incapable of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why he reacted the way he did, because he knew it was true.
Yeah.
Like, if someone calls you out for something and you react a certain way, your reaction tells a lot about if it's valid or not. And that obviously has come to fruition. And, Matt, you're an LSU guy. Garrett Nussmeier's hurt, right?
He is clearly not 100%. Yeah.
Then why is he playing?
I mean, for one, he came back and he didn't have to, and now, I mean, he seems to be the kind of guy who's going to play through literally anything. So,
but why? Why? I always hate if he's he's played like shit. We're almost halfway through the year, and he's played like shit every single week. So, at some point, it's okay, if he's hurt, why is the backup not playing?
Yeah,
it's a fair question. A lot of people have wondered, but yeah, I don't know. Unless they feel like he's their best chance to win still, or if I don't know what the breakdown. I mean, it doesn't solve all the issues per se if they play the backup or not, but yeah, I mean, certainly some escapability and certain throws you'd think the backup would have an easier time making, being somewhat mobile, because currently he can't really do much.
No. Not at all.
I love speaking of that game, the Ole Miss, at the Grove, the Trinidad flags.
Yeah.
Great. That's perfect. It was just, you go down the Grove. That's why I love sports. Because imagine, you know nothing about sports and, you walk through old, Oxford and you just see, the country of Trinidad's flag everywhere. And you're just what is going on?
Yeah, if you were, not a football fan, you'd be okay. You would be lost. You'd have no idea. But, yeah. I mean, I think that's all I got, unless y'all got anything else before we hop off.
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, I believe this was episode 5. I appreciate y'all tuning in. All the more live comments than we've gotten than usual. Hopefully that shows a little bit of growth in the show. Get this thing going, and, appreciate y'all tuning in. And we'll see y'all same time next week.